From the regulars at the Drunken Clam to the alcoholics cracking one open at 7 a.m., Quahog has its fair share of drinkers in the town. So today, we thought we'd take a look at some of the greatest moments in Family Guy where alcohol got the better of people. Starting with the time Stewie became addicted to cough syrup, which gets him pretty buzzed and Baking Bad.
Alright, you know what? I know something that'll help you sleep. Wait here.
So when Stewie's having a little trouble falling asleep, Brian decides it'd be a good idea to give him some cough syrup. Because I guess the cough part of the name is more a suggestion than a steadfast requirement. One shot in and Stewie immediately sees what it's all about.
Oh, so this is what Lil Wayne keeps almost dying from.
If Stewie were allowed to drink Sprite, it would be over for him. But he'd also probably sell a lot of albums at the same time, so I guess a win's a win. But things that make you feel good tend to get overused, and Stewie finds that out the hard way.
Stewie, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, Brian. Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over the table for you.
Don't let this episode fool you into believing the revisionist history that cough syrup actually tastes good. It was trash as a kid, and it's trash now. But Stewie's convinced himself that he loves this stuff, especially when it makes him feel a little tipsy.
Stewie, I told you there's alcohol in that. It's not for kids.
You're not for kids.
I hate to agree with the sloshed baby, but he does make a good argument. They never should have tried to make cough syrup taste good. Keep it tasting like car exhaust and cigarettes for the good of the children. And like most drunk people, Stewie can't help but be overly obnoxious.
I was just thinking, let's order a kebab.
A what?
A kebab.
I guess there have been weirder drunken cravings. Plus, kebabs absolutely slap when you're in the tub. Don't just take my word for it. You'll be shocked at how well meat, veggies, and soap go together.
Who can prepare me a nice yogurt treatment?
If you say it like that one more time, I'm gonna drown you.
But when Stewie attempts to drive while scissorped, Brian tries to step in and put an end to things.
You're in no condition to drive.
I'm fine to drive. I'm so fine. I can do all the tests.
He's definitely acing the disheveled, slurring, and obnoxious test so far. Honestly, if more people were forced to take big wheels home instead of their cars, we'd probably see a lot fewer accidents. That doesn't mean the total would be zero, however.
Where's the radio? Oh my god, are you okay?
The government really needs to step in and start regulating these tricycles, otherwise those death traps are just going to keep causing more accidents. It sounds like it's time for an intervention, and that's just what Brian sets up with all of Stewie's imaginary friends.
Who am I? I don't have a cough and my sinuses are remarkably wide open.
It takes a brave kid to admit to that stuff. Well done, Stewie. Do you understand how much of a problem you have if Brian is the one trying to get you to slow your drinking? So if you ever feel like you're slipping into alcoholism, just remember that you are better than Brian. Never forget that. And after the guys get so drunk to the point where they can't stop marrying each other, they decide to give up drinking altogether in Fahrenheit 451.
There's an illegal underage social function on Sycamore that's violating Ordinance 313.
So when Joe's called in to break up a teen party, the guys tag along only to find out that the party isn't just illegal, it also sucks big time.
Wait, let's not break it up. Let's wake it up.
It is Joe's duty as a cop to uphold the laws of fun before any actual real laws. So the guys get this high school party ripping and roaring, reverting themselves to the days when they'd get sloppy off of 2 light beers.
Oh god, that's Stacy. She can't see me here.
Glenn, there shouldn't be anyone at this party who can't see you.
I mean, none of these kids should probably be seeing Quagmire. Kinda feels like he's in violation of some ordinance by being around all these teens. But going to jail isn't even crossing their minds, as there's still a ton of partying to be had.
Let's turn this party up a notch.
But they go up a few too many notches, because by the time the guys come to, they're in tuxedos and brandishing fancy new wedding rings on their fingers.
Uh-oh, apparently we got married last night. It's all over TikTok.
And those TikToks aren't even playing Subway Surfers alongside it to hold your attention. That's how you know last night was a good one.
Guys, we have to fix this. Marrying each other was a huge mistake.
It was?
So a couple of marriage annulments later, and the guys are back on the market. Well, Quagmire at least. The rest of them still gotta deal with their original marriages that they probably feel the same way about. But being freshly divorced calls for a celebration.
We got married again.
I can't believe it. Why does this keep happening to us?
You guys might have some unrequited feelings to work out amongst yourselves if this is the first thing you do when you get too drunk. You gotta love your bros, but that love doesn't usually come with a prenup. But to keep this from happening again, Peter comes to a terrifying realization.
I'm afraid that dark day has finally come. We need to stop drinking.
And apparently, sobriety comes with sweater vests and a personality that's a lot more pleasurable to be around. So Peter becomes a totally different person, actually acting like he loves his wife for a change.
Also, I prepared your tampon for the day.
Wow, gross.
Nothing gross about this guy. In fact, all of the guys have gone through this change, though now they just need to find things to fill the time that used to be filled with drinking.
Usually a whole day is taken up by the drinking.
And the puking.
The puking was implied, yes.
I think that's your guys' style of drinking. You know you don't have to throw up all your meals every time you drink, right? But after trying different hobbies like puzzles, chess, and man caving, the guys quickly realized that drinking might have been the only thing they had in common.
I hate to say it, but I don't think we're cut out to be friends.
Peter's right.
Sure, it may kill brain cells and liver enzymes, but drinking does have the power to birth friendships. And without the friend group, Peter just devolves into an insufferable guy who can't stop talking about how hydrated he is.
Hey, you been hydrating, Lois? You gotta hydrate. It's the key to staying hydrated.
Stop saying hydrated!
You buy one Stanley Cup and suddenly you're a health and wellness expert. It's not an easy thing to admit, but sometimes people are a lot more tolerable when they're drinking, and Peter's family holds an intervention to get him to pick up the vice again.
I can't handle this right now. I need to hydrate. Just a little agua to take the edge off.
No.
There is such a thing as being too hydrated, and it comes well before you run the risk of literally drowning yourself. Once that pee stops having any smell, you've gone a little too far. Luckily, the guys come in with a pack of brews to bring Peter back to the light.
Let's go get tanked. Together.
We wouldn't recommend living by their example, but maybe some people just need a little edge in their lives to make them halfway normal. Well, rest assured that Peter will always have a slightly elevated blood alcohol level for the good of the people around him.
We're headed to St. Christopher's. Come quickly and bring...
To alcohol.
And there are a lot of crimes out there that involve drinking, but the Cleveland Loretta Quagmire shows us the lesser reported on crime of reading while intoxicated.
Oh, don't be ashamed of your hand, Johnny Tremaine. You still live in exciting times.
Yeah, he probably should have been quieter in the library, but let's be real, there's some classic literature out there that requires a drink or two to get through. I'm sure Finnegan's Wake is good, but without a little motivation, nothing's gonna make me wake up to this book.
The life of a silversmith's apprentice was not an easy one.
And in Peter's Two Dads, there's only one way for Peter to prove that he's the son of Mickey McFinnigan, an Irish drunk.
Mickey McFinnigan, I challenge you to a drinking contest.
A dangerous game to play with an Irish stereotype. Mickey was probably sipping on stout in place of formula back when he was a wee lad. But Peter's cut from the same cloth, as I think he spends more time drunk than sober in his life.
As we say in Ireland, let's drink until the alcohol in our system destroys our livers and kills us.
The Irish always did have the most fascinating limericks. So one shot of whiskey becomes 2, and 2 becomes 15. At least all that alcohol allows the father and son to speak in their native tongue. And which regional dialect would this be exactly? But Peter manages to do the unthinkable, beating the Irish town drunk in a drinking competition that has surely shaved a few years off his life.
What happened?
Peter, you won!
My God, nobody's ever beat me at the game of drink.
That level of alcoholism is undeniable. Peter has got to be the spawn of Mickey's loins. Finally, these two can have the father-son relationship Peter always wanted. For, like, 2 minutes. Yeah, we never see him again after this. Legend says he's still out there throwing back Guinness and making every pub all the louder.
Top of the morning, laddies. Let me cut you an Irish rose.
And Peter would show just what kind of damage drinking can do when he takes it too far and nearly winds up dead in Friends of Peter G.
Psst. Hey, Brian, you want a drink? You snuck in liquor?
Yeah, loosens me up so I can talk to the people around me.
So it ends up getting Peter and Brian too loose, as they end up disturbing the moviegoer so much that they both get arrested. Honestly, they should have been arrested when they decided to talk during a movie, or lined up for a firing squad, whichever's easier.
Sit down!
Move! Stop blocking the screen, you jerk!
And as punishment for ruining a screening of Seth MacFarlane's favorite movie, the pair are sentenced to an Alcoholics Anonymous program to get their drinking under control.
You know, if you ask me, this is gonna be a good thing for both of you. There's a lesson you need to learn.
Yeah, you need to keep drinking as an activity you do during the day to help you get through the house chores like Lois. But maybe hearing some of the drinking horror stories at AA will turn them around. Unfortunately, all of Peter's horror stories are sick as hell.
Water slide!
It sounds like some of the people in this group just don't know how to drink right. Peter and Brian seem to think that maybe AA should be a safe place for people to let loose rather than trying to suppress their desires.
Let's make this our sanctuary.
I wants me that beer.
Look, if we've made daycares a place for children to get all their energy out, then surely we can do the same for people who can't handle their drinks, no? Both are probably equally important. And the safe space seems to work out pretty well, only taking one song about sobriety to get Joe off their tail.
Wow, you guys, I'm impressed that you're taking your sentence so seriously.
As serious as alcohol poisoning, which is definitely not happening to anyone in this room. Never mind the fact that the room probably reeks of alcohol. But while this safe haven for drunks may sound like a good idea on paper, nobody thought about how exactly those drunks are getting home.
You okay to drive?
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll crank the heat, roll up the windows, and blast the lullaby channel. I'll be fine.
It makes sense. All the bops are on the Lullaby channel. More people need to learn to throw it back to some Baa Black Sheep. But as expected, a quick drive home does not turn out well for Peter.
Please be Rosie O'Donnell. Please be Rosie O'Donnell. Please be Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, cool, it's Death. He's really got to stop giving Peter these get-out-of-jail-free cards and just let the man slip away already. But he comes offering a second chance, showing Peter a future where drinking turns him into a monster.
Stewie, go on, get out of here, you stupid laugh and cry, F and cry. What's the difference?
Yep, basically he turns into a big abusive slob. But if you can believe it, he actually turns out worse if he gives up drinking altogether.
Hey, gang. Everybody line up for a Triple H, a hug, a handshake, or a high five.
I figured with a name like Triple H, he was just gonna bury these jabronis. It's what's best for business. But with no alcohol in his system, Peter becomes an overly nice, lame geek who enjoys seltzer water. Hard to say which of these outcomes is worse. Whatever is a man to do about this?
These are going in the garbage. But these, I'm keeping for myself. Moderation, Lois.
That's a brave thing he's doing, limiting himself to only 3 beers an hour rather than his usual 6. A shame about all the extra waste he's creating by doing that. Maybe it'll benefit someone in some sort of way.
Hey, how come we're the only animals with poo that's white?
I know, what the hell?
And if there's one person who hates Lois's drinking the most, it's gotta be Stewie, who's probably still traumatized from the time she tried to drunkenly put him to bed in Ann I'm Joyce Kinney.
Let me get in that belly. Let me kiss that
Stop
belly.
it!
I'm gonna give you a...
Oh, well, that doesn't seem all that bad. I guess it's kinda weird she had to drink to work up the courage to hang out with her baby, but at least she's doing it. Then again, all that drinking and blowing raspberries can't be a good mix. And suddenly, all those years of trying to kill Lois have become warranted. I'd be laughing a whole lot more at this, but any attempt at opening my mouth just brings on the need to vomit myself while watching this, so I think I'll just move on.
I'm sorry. I got a little nervous. It's just I like you so much.
And after having a near-death experience, Stewie tries to cope with his mortality with a little heavy drinking and Stewie be good.
I can't believe it. All these years I thought I was living in hell, but it gets so much worse.
So after nearly dying, Stewie takes this as a sign that he needs to go straight. The other kind of straight, just so we're not confused. The kind where he tries to be a nice and delightful young boy.
What are you doing?
Whoa, from the feel of it, working through quite a few years of stress.
Brian's right to be feeling a little uncomfortable. This wouldn't be an issue with modern Stewie, but past Stewie? Brian's validated in being worried that he might be working his way towards a neck snap. But Stewie's making a decent attempt at being, well, decent.
There is the most absolutely perfect spiderweb in the bushes by Cleveland's house, and you have just got to see it.
I think Brian preferred when Stewie was a hateful little wretch. Sure, he could kill you if he wanted to, but he was much more tolerable to be around. And after a little bit of pushing, Brian gets Stewie to admit this going nice routine is all a facade.
Ha! I knew it. I knew you hadn't really changed.
Okay, so I was faking being nice.
People in the South have built their entire culture around being fake nice. You just gotta move south of the Mason-Dixon line and you'll be right at home. But Stewie takes some inspiration from Brian for a more immediate remedy that could help mellow him out.
If I'm drunk, I'll be calm. If I'm calm, I'll be nice. And if I'm nice, I won't go to hell. Fix me a highball. I'm going to get good and tight.
If only there were a correlation between the amount you drink and your chances of going to heaven. There'd be angels walking up and down my street every day. Despite Brian's warning, Stewie decides to give the sauce a try, and it hits him like a ton of bricks.
I'm as okay as your face. I'm sorry.
Some kids just don't know how to hold their liquor. Really ought to be one of the first things they learn. I'm tired of seeing all these drunk babies out at bars. Bars used to be for adults.
You're drunk.
You're sexy.
Listen, you have to stop this, all right? No more drinking. I'm sorry I even put it in your head.
Well, the issue here is actually Stewie putting it in his mouth. But when Stewie won't quit, Brian's only option is to find a way to make the baby hate alcohol.
So, you like being drunk? Fine. I'm gonna get you so drunk you'll never want to drink again.
Now that's a real pal, willing to go to jail for providing alcohol to a minor just to help his buddy. Now that I think about it, there are probably a few better ways to handle this, but Brian would rather be dead than deal with another drunk person while sober.
I can't believe you saved all this.
Lois, you think Lois will like these?
Unfortunately, neither of them thought ahead enough to realize that they wouldn't be sober enough to get themselves home. But what the heck, you've already got a drunk baby and a drunk dog. What's one more crime to throw on top of this night? Shh. Don't worry, I don't think they heard you guys. But it seems like this little exercise in excess worked, as Stewie won't be touching alcohol for at least another episode.
Go away.
Huh. A little hungover?
I am never going to drink again, ever.
Getting alcohol poisoning probably isn't the most responsible way to stop yourself from drinking, but the results sure do speak for themselves. In the episode, Pal Stewie reveals that Lois tries to be discreet about her day drinking by hiding her vice in a bush, but there's nothing discreet about how sloshed she gets.
Vodka in the bushes.
That's risky business, leaving your alcohol outside like that. You're gonna have some pretty drunk raccoons on your hands if you're not careful. It's one thing to take a little sip as a pick-me-up, it's a whole other thing to be completely blitzed while you're supposed to be watching your child.
I'll be right there, Stewie. Where's the bush vodka? Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, that shrillness in her voice definitely doesn't make this sound like an issue at all. At least put some bush lemons and some bush soda water out there so you aren't just drinking straight spirits like a heathen.
Playing with your kitty cat.
And in Guy Robot, Peter comes to bed sloppy drunk and admits to some pretty heinous things.
Hey, Chris, don't tell your mom I threw up in the crock pot.
Peter, it's me.
Could have fooled me. I think Lois and Chris wear the same nighttime girdle. But that isn't even the worst thing Peter admits to.
Peter!
We act like we didn't take a lot from The Simpsons. We took a lot from The Simpsons.
You're not supposed to say the quiet part that everyone knows out loud. Then again, drunk people always have a tendency to admit to stuff, so it was only a matter of time. I wonder if Homer's had any drunk thoughts about Peter. That'd be kinda cute, in a star-crossed lovers that are about to throw up kinda way.
Are these mushrooms?
That's where Smurfs is.
And the guys nearly lose their favorite drinking spot after Horace dies in Save the Clam, but in reminiscing on all the memories they had, they decide to have one last hurrah.
And so let us take a look back on his life through this video, commemorating all the DUIs that he was responsible for.
I hope I get a video like that at my funeral. Just a slideshow of all my mistakes. Can't have everyone crying too much, so you gotta give the people a reason to be kinda glad that you're gone. And with Horace gone, that means the Clam is about to go under, so the guys decide to have one last bender at their favorite spot.
Let's face it, there's only one drinking spot for us, and it's the Clam.
But Peter, it's closed. We can't go in there.
Oh yeah, big law-abiter Quagmire over here. Suddenly he has respect for the rules when it's a building and not a teenage girl. So the guys managed to break in and set out to drink the place dry.
Remember when QuickTime here passed out in the booth?
Oh, so that's why the QuickTime player never works. It's always aggressively drunk from drinking with the guys. It all makes sense now.
All the greatest moments of my life I spent right here in this booth.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt this is where he was sitting when all three of his children were born. It's not like he can do anything in the delivery room anyway. Might as well have a beer and cheer Lois on from the sidelines.
Hey, what happens if I blow in this end?
Don't, I'll explode.
I'm gonna.
If you're putting your mouth on another man's catheter, it's probably your sign to call it a night. But these guys don't look like they have any intention of slowing down, so we're gonna bow out before they put their mouths on anything else. When the guys decide to go on a bender up in Boston in the Giggity Wife, they have such a wild time that Quagmire ends up getting hitched.
Hey, why do you have a Harvard dining hall ID?
I pulled over some punk Harvard kid who gave me a bunch of lip, so I took his ID.
So the guys decide to use this free dining pass as an excuse to get up to Boston and see what the Harvard drinking culture is like.
Hey, check it out! There's the Winklevoss twins.
Let's get a drink.
Get a drink, let's get a drink. I thought of it first.
Seems a bit too stuffy and a bit too written by Aaron Sorkin for their taste. The guys need something darker, grimier, and with a much looser dress code.
All right, this is more like it.
Way better than that lame-ass college joint.
Nothing like coming to another state to do the exact same things you already do at home. But you have to admit the Bostonians must know a thing or two about drinking. How else could you explain why they talk like that?
Yeah, let's get wicked bombed!
Sorry, pal, we already have an intense wheelchair guy.
And one is plenty. Joe's got enough energy to power the city, so having another guy just like him would blow a fuse. But what follows is a night filled with heavy-duty drinking, as the guys interrupt a Celtics game, steal a shark from the aquarium, and drive a pirate ship right through downtown. It's a shame they probably won't remember any of it.
They didn't get arrested, and they're still kind of drunk, so they think it's okay.
Can't say the same for Quagmire, though, as he came home with something that will never let him forget that night, no matter how much he may want to.
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell do you think I am, sweetie?
Finally, Quagmire found a gal his age. This calls for a celebration, and Peter is still far too drunk to have any concept of common decency. And Meg would take after her dad and start picking up the bottle, leading to her and Peter doing the most bonding they've ever done in the episode Crimes in Meg's Demeanor.
All right, ladies, time to mingle.
So while struggling to connect with any of her peers at a house party, Meg finds it's a little easier to unwind with a little bit of liquid courage, even though we don't think courage is her problem. If anything, she's got too much of it.
Meg, come on, don't go crazy.
Damn, that's hot.
And it turns out that when Meg is drunk, she unlocks the well-respected talent of being able to flip and land a bottle upright. Well, there are worse drunk talents to have. Most people just get really good at peeing their pants. Sometimes they get so good that they pee other people's pants. Don't ask me how that works.
Meg, that was amazing.
What can I say? I'm full of surprises.
And to the surprise of no one, this leads to Meg making drinking a regular thing, throwing a little grease on her wheels for lame occasions like dinner with the family.
Little the old schnapps try to get me right.
Well, at least her drinking choices are very high school. Some of that sugar water couldn't get a baby drunk. And I have seen some babies at the bars that can really throw them back. But it doesn't take long for Peter and Lois to catch on to what's going on.
You've been drinking, haven't you?
No! Jeez, Mom, get off my back.
This is definitely cause for alarm. Alcoholism doesn't just run in the family, it drives. So Meg is gonna need to be talked out of the habit quickly before it's too late. Better task the biggest drunk in the family with doing that.
I remember going to parties, walking up with a six-pack. You're so excited to get there, you start jogging a little.
I think he forgot what his mission was. Somehow he made drinking the most watered-down, urine-flavored light beer in the world sound like the greatest thing ever. And taking her to the Clam isn't exactly helping his case either.
You were already drinking tonight, weren't you?
A little.
Well, I can't talk to a drunk person if I'm sober.
And so this kicks off a days-long bender between the dad and daughter that brings them closer together than they've ever been. Probably not the best thing for their health, but at least now they can die happy.
All right, what happened?
I don't know. We must have stolen this boat last night. I have no idea where the hell we are.
That's drinking for you. It's the surefire way to have a heck of a time and never be able to remember any of it. Because after all, memories are the least important part of an experience. That's why people record entire concerts they go to.
Ugh, I don't feel so hot. What is wrong with me?
Aw, baby's first hangover. A feeling so disgusting and painful that it makes you never want to drink again. For about a day. If we had a nickel for every time someone said they were never going to drink again, you could build a city of nickels. Nickelberg, they'd call it. Luckily, Peter and Meg are saved before dying, and Meg learns a valuable lesson about the dangers of drinking.
And if this is what drinking makes you feel like, you don't have to worry about it. I am done with booze.
Ooh, another nickel to put on top of Nickelberg. And while Stewie's on a soul-searching journey in the talented Mr. Stewie, he decides to stop in Italy to partake in the wonderful wine culture they have over there.
I'm eat gay loving it, and it's going great.
I don't know how I feel about how eager these guys are to keep pouring a baby wine, but you know what they say, when in Rome. I don't know what that saying means, but they're close enough to Rome that it can mean anything you want.
Stop pouring. Stop pouring. I can't keep track of how much I'm drinking. Thank you.
And friends gotta look out for each other when they're drinking, which is what Peter and Joe do by taking each other's keys in Quagmire's Quagmire.
You're drunk, okay? You're drunk. Give me your keys. And I'm drunk, so I'll give you my keys.
Well, his heart's in the right place at least. And with Joe's keys, Peter now has the power to get those drunk drivers off the roads by putting another drunk driver on the road. Look, don't question his methods so long as they get results.
I'm gonna need you to step out of the car and walk a straight line, please. All right, you be safe, sir.
And Chris dips his toes into the world of drinking to deal with the stress of being the man of the house when the kids and adults swap roles and trading places.
You kids switch places with your dad and me. For the next week, you'll be the parents and we'll be the kids.
So in an attempt to teach the kids the hardships of being adults, Peter and Lois thrust them into parental roles, which they actually end up nailing.
Meg, when did you find the time to do all this?
I had all day to do this.
It's remarkable what you can get done in a day when you're not wallowing in self-pity. Gotta get better at penciling in your wallowing for specific times if you really want to see results. And while Meg is showing Lois up, Chris is proving to be a far better employee than Peter ever was.
It was actually really great. And Angela even told me I might get a raise for doing such a good job.
Wow, the only thing Peter gets raised at work is HR complaints. Obviously, the adults can't have the kids beating them at their own game, so they call off the experiment, but Chris isn't going anywhere.
Angela fired you and hired me. She said I've been doing twice as good a job as you did.
You know how good of a worker you gotta be for a corporation to overlook child labor laws, especially for a company that makes alcohol. Chris is really setting himself up to be a nice little cog in the corporate machine.
Did you finish all the accounts payable and the accounts receivable?
But that's not my department.
It is now.
And it only takes one night of overworking to immediately make Chris want to reach for the bottle.
You want to keep it down in here? One of us has to work in the morning.
Chris, have you been drinking?
Well, what else is a middle-class father with a 9-to-5 supposed to do? It's the same schedule every night. Drink, yell, and nearly see the light from that pain in your stomach.
That pain in my stomach is back. Ow!
He's really speedrunning having an early-in-life heart attack. Somehow he's even better than Peter at letting his health go to crap. Eventually, the stress and pressure of adulthood become too much for Chris to bear.
Oh my God! I think Chris is having a heart attack!
We're not supposed to leave the table!
You're not supposed to have your heart collapse on you at 15 either, but Chris just has a go-get-em attitude that Peter could really learn something from. It's kind of astonishing how much adulthood crushed Chris. If it's all the same to you guys, we're just gonna keep avoiding adulthood and continue making these little videos. And Peter would let his drinking get the best of him and play it again, Brian, missing out on Brian's live reading and upsetting Lois.
Hey, did I miss Byron's reward?
Brian's award.
What, is he supposed to take an all-expenses paid vacation and not make use of the minibar? He would just be doing himself and the great state of Massachusetts a disservice if he did that.
You hide the key to the minibar from me, but I found it.
Peter's no stranger to absolutely ruining the moment, but if there's one thing you can count on, it's that he'll find a way to make it up to you in the morning.
That's so much better.
He's still trying to find a way to make it up to her. Give him another 100 years and I'm sure he'll find it. And when the guys decide to wear body cams to remember their crazy nights in Bryda, it just ends up broadcasting their debauchery to the rest of the world.
Where'd we even go last night?
I have no idea.
So the only thing the guys seem to remember about the previous night is that they came up with $1 million business idea. They just don't remember the specifics. Which is a shame because I'm pretty sure it's the specifics that will actually make you the $1 million.
Well, down at work we wear body cams. We could just do that when we're drinking.
Given the guy's propensity for committing crimes while drunk, this will also save the police and courts a ton of time. So the guys decide to give it a try, but when they review the footage, they realize they've captured way more bad ideas than good ones.
Oh, this must have been when we were jumping around to jump around, like the song asked us to.
It's only polite to do what a song tells you to do. Maybe just don't listen to Kill Your Heroes by AWOL Nation while you're around any sharp objects. And these cameras captured everything, including the things you probably don't want people to see.
You did it again, Glenn Quagmire! Oh my god! Joe, you have to delete this footage!
Suddenly, Quagmire has an issue with being videotaped without being in the right state of mind. The morals of this guy, I tell ya. And to make matters worse, all of the footage has automatically been uploaded to the internet. So if Ida ever had the screwed up idea to wonder how her son was in bed, now's her chance.
Oh, Glenn.
And it's usually other people getting inconvenienced by Peter's drunken antics, but in The Man with Two Brians, the tables are turned on Peter when Quagmire drunk dials him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Quagmire, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I was just out with Joe.
What's worse than not being invited for a night out on the town with the boys? Having them call you to hear about how much fun they're having.
Hey, this song made me think of you. So wait, listen to this song.
Oh, okay, well that's kind of sweet. Not sweet enough to warrant a call at 3 in the morning, but it's nice to know they're still thinking about him.
Joe told me not to call you. So what are you doing?
And in Dial Meg for Murder, the news station pays tribute to one of their own when their beloved drunk Billy passes away.
In anticipation of this event, we put together a clip package featuring some of Billy's work for Channel 5 News.
Do you think Drunk Billy was a nickname or his God-given name? Either way, it's an interesting move to let a guy with that reputation pilot a news chopper. But Channel 5 prides itself on being an equal opportunity employer. And if you've got a problem with a drunk flying a helicopter, then you're just, I don't know, ableist or something.
I'm still hungry, said the very hungry caterpillar, but you've already...
And Lois would try to help Meg cut loose during spring break in A Fish Out of Water, only to cut a bit too loose herself.
Look, I just want to go home and spend the next 3 days in solitary confinement where I belong.
So after Meg's bummed about not being at the beach for spring break, Lois decides to take her there. Of course, having your mom there instantly negates any possible way for this to be a cool experience.
This is where you wanted to be, right, honey?
Yeah, but not with you.
Easy there, Meg. Your presence is doing way more damage to Lois's image than she is to yours. You're never too young for spring break, as copious drinking welcomes all, no matter your age or the number of kids you have.
Come on, Meg. Get out of the car. Like the kids say, up your nose with a rubber hose.
This is a pretty good reminder that no matter what generation slang came from, it's all bad. This is also a good reminder that Meg could absolutely not hang in these earlier seasons. I guess we had to wait for her to get sadder before she started drinking. What a healthy habit.
Come on, just a little higher, honey.
Mom, I don't think I can...
Hit the gym and gain some height, Pipsqueak. It's clear Meg isn't having a good time, but Lois can't say the same. She's having a blast, and there's nothing more fun for a mom to do than drink with minors.
Wow, you are such a good dancer.
Way to go on that beer bong.
Yeah, no fake.
Then again, judging by the different directions of her eyes, I'd say Lois is a little out of her element. But it's all good when you don't have a lame daughter bemoaning in your ear about it.
Oh, you know what? You need to learn how to loosen up a little, toots.
Yeah, I get the feeling you're loose enough for the both of us.
Careful, Meg. You haven't had nearly enough to drink to get into a curbside brawl with another drunk.
Don't you sass me.
And that's about enough complaining out of Meg. Lois is gonna get her to let it all hang out one way or another.
Meg, 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 Meg.
I meant more metaphorically, but I guess that works too. This is just the natural progression of partying. Like fish growing legs and learning to talk, it's inevitable. But at least all of this debauchery led to a nice moment of breaking the law and escaping police custody for the mother and daughter. You just can't put a price tag on that.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, tuck and roll.
And Peter attempts to bond with Chris in the episode German Guy through one of his favorite hobbies. A hobby that Chris isn't old enough to do, so he's just gonna have to sit this one out.
Oh, hey, he can't be in here. He's not 21.
All right, just hang out here for a little bit, huh?
It's a memory Chris will always remember. Peter just has to describe to him what the memory was first. Don't worry, Chris. Once this hangover wears off, Peter will be one step closer to remembering that you exist.
Chris, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at camp. What am I paying for?
And Peter gets a little confused when he goes to make Stewie breakfast, and Stewie's first word, somehow finding a way to get drunk in the process.
Breakfast popsicle? Whoa, there's vodka in here.
And people drink it with breakfast all the time, but I guess since it's an orange juice, it's considered okay. Brunchtime drinkers think they're pulling a fast one on us, but we know what they're doing. You're just another breed of alcoholic, only one that's buying a $20 omelet.
Your dad? Wait, who wants milk? Let me quick just check in the freezer.
But drinking would occasionally give the world something good, like when it turned Peter into a piano prodigy in the episode Wasted Talent.
Pawtucket Pat has announced that he's opening his never-before-seen brewery to a lucky few.
So things first kick off with Peter binge drinking as usual, but this time it's in service of finding the silver scroll in a bottle to win a tour of the Pawtucket Brewery.
Oh, Lois, thank God it's you. The last 3 houses I went to were very rude.
The fact that you're standing here without a bunch of bullet holes in you shows that they weren't being rude enough. And pretty soon, the entire house becomes filled to the brim with empty beer bottles. He hasn't found a scroll yet, but he'll still probably make a pretty penny on recycling. 5 whole pretty pennies.
You're drunk again.
No, I'm just exhausted because I've been up all night drinking.
Peter's locked into the ancient technique of avoiding a hangover. You can't get one if you never stop being drunk. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on anything I say, and you can quote me on that. Jeez, I think I'm getting drunk just from watching Peter drink. But all that drinking actually ends up paying off.
I found it! I found the last scroll!
So Peter wins the chance to tour the Pawtucket Brewery, which was far more Willy Wonka-esque than it is now. Man, corporate America really did a number on this place, huh? At least they stayed away from that soulless corporate art style.
It's like I died and went to heaven. But then they realized that it wasn't my time, and so they sent me back to a brewery.
Maybe it is just a regular old brewery, and this is just what it looks like through the eyes of an alcoholic. I guess that includes the kid who's there too. But eventually Peter's drinking gets the best of him as he drinks an experimental beer he wasn't supposed to, which gets him kicked out.
You've sullied my factory and disobeyed my rules. I want you to leave immediately.
Oh, so suddenly drinking alcohol in the alcohol drinking factory is looked down upon. Oh well, Peter doesn't need this whimsical world of hops and barley because a whole new one is about to open up to him.
Peter, that's incredible. I don't understand how you're like the idiot from Shine.
See, being an idiot sometimes has its perks. You can absolutely be stupid about everything else, yet be an absolute savant at one thing. Peter's one thing is the piano, but only when he's got some alcohol in him.
Oh my God, you can only play the piano when you're drunk.
Which means Lois finally has herself a piano prodigy who she can take all the way to a championship. Never mind all the damage it'll do to Peter's body. Sometimes you gotta suffer for your art, and for all the years that follow due to your failing liver.
Hey, where's the nearest liquor store?
Oh, they're all closed on Sundays. This is a dry county.
So to get him ready for his big performance, Peter and Lois decide to crash a high school party to get him properly lubricated.
Consume.
I love you so much.
This sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure they're really bringing down the vibes of drinking in a brightly lit kitchen. When the drinks go up, the lights come down. Everyone knows that. And this little pit stop secures Peter that piano trophy, so I guess you can say that there's no lesson to be learned here.
God knows how many of his brain cells I killed pouring all that alcohol down his throat.
Yeah, but you got a trophy out of it. If football players can bash their heads in for a ring and no one bats an eye, then surely Peter can fry what was left of his brain for the arts. And there's always that one type of drinker who gets wasted on practically nothing. And considering Stewie is just drinking apple juice and Brian wallows and Peter swallows, he's getting wasted on literally nothing.
I think you are a special person.
Thanks.
We all know a friend who tells you how much he loves you after a single White Claw. They're a species that is a bit annoying but should be protected at all costs. They just want to feel good. Who cares if they get a little sloppy drinking something that has less alcohol content than the air?
Are you gonna listen to me so I can tell you that I respect you?
And finally, we have the episode that started it all, Death Has a Shadow, which showcased Peter's drinking habits at a stag party.
Hey, who wants to play Drink the Beer?
Right here.
You win!
All right, what do I win?
Another beer!
And not just anyone can win that game. It takes ample amounts of skill, training, and losing all sense of the world around you. Just look at the game's champion.
Hey man, your clock won't flush.
But everyone can get in on the drinking, because when all they have to watch is a documentary on the Statue of Liberty, Peter gets a brilliant idea.
We're gonna drink till she's hot.
Hey, that's just crazy enough to work.
Judging by how Peter sprawled out on the kitchen table the next morning, I'd say they never really found the right amount that made the statue take her clothes off. It's too bad all that drinking must have killed most of them, because I don't think we ever see most of them again.
All right, I'm going to work. Somebody's got to put food on this table.
But be sure to let us know what your favorite drunk Family Guy moment is, and if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to help this channel grow and want to see more great Family Guy content.